Scott Hamilton here at my home base at Cartersville Country Club, Cartersville, Georgia. I wanted to take a moment here and show you my new favorite piece of technology this year, the Boditrak pressure mat. The biggest thing that it shows you is the center of pressure trace, or what your center of gravity is doing throughout the golf swing. Very affordable piece of technology, very useful information. The beauty of the product is how easy it is to operate. All you do is upload the software onto your PC. You can use a Mac also. Plug the mat into a USB jack on your computer. Double click the shift icon that will appear after you upload the software. The mat has buttons on here for whenever the operator is running it themselves. If you're hitting and running it yourself, you can run it right from the mat. I've got it set up for a right-handed golfer here. You can move the mat around. You can make it right-handed, left-handed. This button on the left right here, this little square, when you step on it, it starts the mat. You've got to stand on it for a second and let it center up. If you'll stand still for a second, you'll see these little lines on there. They'll go away. All right, let's go analyze that swing right there. There's going to be plenty to look at, I guarantee it. All right, so when I look at the center pressure trace, at address right there, I've got 66% of my load or pressure on my left foot and 34 on my right. Most of the tour guys that I have show up here are 60-40 to 55-45, so I'm not way off on there. I just have a little bit too much pressure maybe on my left foot at address. As I drag the pressure trace back, I did a pretty nice job on my backswing. It's fairly linear. At the top, or the change of directions right there, I've got 78% of the pressure in the right leg, 22 in the left, and I have 36. The numbers here on the side are toe heel, and I have 36 in the toe and 64 in the heel. That's pretty close. The kind of, I hate to say tour average, but the average guy right there is about 60-40 up to 55, up to 50-50. So I'm pretty good in that range right there. But here's where the problem starts. You can see that trace is driving out towards my left toe. Right there at the midpoint, I've got 93% of the pressure in my left toe. So I've got what I'd call like a hook bias or a draw bias trace going there. The club definitely wants to follow the pressure trace. So the more linear you can make it, if those two lines, the backswing line and then the forward line, were mapped on top of each other, I would have a really neutral pressure trace, and the club would come in there really neutral. That shot, I dug the toe into the ground right there. I was definitely falling forward on my toes. And then at impact right there, I had 90% of the pressure on my left leg at impact. The middle line, you can see there's a little faint line on there. That's impact. I had 90% in the left leg and 10 on the right. 90% of the tour guys that show up here are somewhere between 96 and 85 of the pressure in their left foot for a right-handed golfer at impact. What's it telling me that I need to do? I need to go and practice some pressure traces on the mat with it running without hitting the ball and make the line much more linear, get a lot more pressure in the middle of my left foot on my forward swing. All right, let's climb back up on the mat here and see if we can work on that center pressure trace that I just delivered. See if we can clean it up a little bit and make it much more linear. The easiest way to do it is to turn the mat on and get it running without swinging the golf club and feel it's kind of like a dance step. And I always think when I do this, I always think of the old school guys like Hogan and Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer when you watch your YouTube videos. But if you'll put pressure and watch how your feet work and your knees. See how easy it is for me to make a linear pressure trace? I'm pushing with my right foot, letting weight off my left heel, driving my left knee forward. You can make it super linear like that. The other thing that I've come up with, and I've tried all kinds of different deals, is this. I just go get a cheap little pool noodle and cut it in a couple parts. I found it works a little better if I cut it in half into two little pieces. Put that down, stand on it, catch your balance, let the mat center up, and then same thing, back and forth. And you can feel if you get too much weight forward, you fall off the front end of it. If too much on the heels, you fall off the back end of it. And you can literally hit balls on these pool noodles, and they'll linear trace right up. I hope you enjoyed my little presentation on using the Boditrak mat today. There's so many applications for it, and if there's any questions or you got an idea, something you want us to answer the question, just tweet at Boditrak Sports. Ask us the question. We'll try to make a video and answer your question, man.